Morning Trainiacs. Today I'm going to show you how to turn a space that is otherwise used for a whole lot of nothing into this. A life-size, fully decked out, top of the line ZWIFT setup, powered by a projector. This winter's going to be good. It just got a whole lot better. Last couple of months, I've legitimately been a little bit worried about what's going to happen this winter when lockdown is still on and can't travel at all throughout the winter. Now, we might go to Challenge Daytona if things open up at all in the States and we can get health insurance and we can travel down there and we don't have to quarantine when we're back. Maybe we'll go down to Phoenix or something like that from January to March, but odds more than anything are looking like we're gonna be in here. So might as well make it really, really good. And now that I've got the office space in the house, I didn't need the office space right here in the corner. So I figured, why not make this corner a life-size ZWIFT setup? I've been thinking about doing it basically since we built the studio here, and I'm gonna show you how I did it. And there's a surprise for you about what we used. I like watching ZWIFT, it's fun. So I've been thinking about this for a while, and I've always thought about it in terms of, let's just get a projector and put it on one of the walls, and then I'll bike in front of that projector. Maybe at most we'll paint one of the walls white. But as I started thinking about this, I thought, I want it to be really immersive. I want it to feel like I'm in the world. I don't want to just be in the middle of the garage. I want to feel like I'm riding in ZWIFT. So what I ended up doing was I wanted to create this enclosure, and then I started thinking, am I going to have to build walls and then paint them black, and am I going to have to make something by scratch? But I ended up figuring out that this is essentially a golf enclosure. So these come pre-made, and I'll link everything that I used in the description below. Some of those will be affiliate links, some of them won't. It's really just for your information so you know what we use. And I bought a pre-made golf enclosure. So it comes with the screen, it comes with the walls, it comes with basically everything you need besides the metal tubing here. Now, because it's getting shipped to you, the metal tubing has to then be purchased at Home Depot. I had to buy 9 10-foot lengths from Home Depot, and then with a Sawzall and a metal cutting blade, we cut them to size here. And as a bonus, you can use the leftovers for Festivus this year. Aluminum, high strength to weight ratio. If you are going this route, just know that in my experience, what happened with this is we bought a 10-foot wide by 7-foot high enclosure, and then we had to cut the poles to size. It says that this is 10 feet wide, and we have exactly 10 feet of space. But then what it actually wants is 10 feet 4.5 inches. We don't have those 4.5 inches. That's what she said. So what we ended up doing was we cut all of these, making it as large as we could in the space that we've got, and then because that was going to create a bunch of wrinkles in the screen, we had to then go get bungees and bungee manually the screen to stretch it so it didn't have all of that extra slack in it. But as you can see, the screen doesn't really have any wrinkles in it. So if they don't have the exact size that you need, you can get a screen that's just a little bit too big and then stretch it around the edge. I'm sure they don't recommend it, but that's what we ended up doing. Now up here is how we power all of this. You don't need something that is this big. Frankly, you could just use an iPad. But in the summer, when I got a little bit addicted to Doom Eternal, I ended up building myself a gaming computer. I've since not really been a whole lot into gaming, so I had this $2,000 paperweight. But you know what it powers really well at a very high quality? ZWIFT. Pushes a lot of pixels. So I ended up putting this gaming computer up here, out of the way, and then basically I just went to Best Buy and I said, what's a decent projector in like the just barely under $1,000 kind of budget? And they said that this one was kind of decent. It's the Epson 3LCD. Just get any sort of projector that you want. Run a HDMI cable from this to that. Later on, I might mount this from the ceiling, but right now, off to the side here, right by the gaming computer, it's actually like out of the way, but it seems to work. Now to control this whole thing, you're obviously not going to want to have a computer set up right in front of you or having a desk bulking up the way. That isn't very immersive. So what I've set up is I'm gonna have my cycling desk right in front of me that tucks in under the handlebars. And then I bought just this basic Logitech, I think it's $35, a built-in wireless keyboard and mouse. This is what all of the ZWIFT people end up setting up when they're doing a gaming setup. They use something like this that is as discreet as possible. They put it on that desk that's in front of the bike, and then they set themselves up and then just tuck it out of the way, have everything that they need as far as nutrition off on the side of the desk. This plugs into the back of the gaming monitor with a little Bluetooth USB dongle, and it connected right away. There was no pairing process, nothing like that. Then obviously, I've got to ride on something. So I am going to set this up with the tacx 2T Neo. Tacx, full disclosure, is a sponsor of the channel, but I've always said for the last bunch of years that whether you've got the tacx 2T Neo, whether you have the Wahoo Kicker, that top of the line unit, whether you've got the Hammer H3, all these top of the line trainers are phenomenal. In the testing that I've done recently, the tacx 2T Neo is just the best road feel out there. It's as smooth as could be, shifting from one power to another, shifting up and down, adding and taking away resistance as you're going over hills is by far the best experience that I've had. Now with this, you obviously don't get the climb that's on the front, but what I was ending up using ZWIFT for mainly was really structured workouts where I was hitting key intervals and not just going and free riding for 4, 5, 6 hours. For that, I bundled up and I went outside. So doing all these key workouts inside, I ended up not actually using the climb feature that much. I don't know if I've used it really at all over the past 18 months. So to have this very road-like feel in here, have that immersion, even have the cobble feature that when you go over cobbles in the ZWIFT world, this goes da 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 da, and have that smoothness and still the stability of this nice wide base, but having a little bit of play up here so it doesn't feel like I'm riding on a 2x4, this I'm thrilled with. I'm really, really happy with it, and I'm not just saying that. Now here's the surprise. The well-trained eyes out there will notice that there's a green mat right in front of the screen. Well, this also now functions as a golf simulator. I ended up buying the SkyTrack golf simulator. I played golf a ton as a kid. I played on one of the local junior teams, and then when I bought a car, I got too busy to golf and I got instantly really, really bad, and then basically gave it up for the last 15 years. But with the extra time of no travel, no racing, and not a ton of training, I got back into golf. So now I can work on this year round. This is just really a good excuse to have some friends over and have something that's just fun. However, I am really obsessed with trying to get down to a single-digit handicap again. I gotta work on my consistency. Lionel, your move. So that's it, Trainiacs. That is the dream ZWIFT setup that I've wanted to build for a few years, and now we finally got it. Lots of Zwift content coming up because, full disclosure, Zwift is a new sponsor and we have a lot of really fun Zwift content plans coming, like something like 20 intervals and 20 questions with Lucy Charles or Sarah True or Tim Don or Jan Frodeno or Lionel Sanders. So if you aren't already subscribed and you dig that, hit the subscribe button below. And hopefully you too can convince your spouses to take over a corner of your living space with a toy. Later, Trainiacs.